4 seasons lost. In Austin, I saw it. Pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then it's hit to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Oh, dice and woes of life, love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often bears appear quick, ready from ear to ear. Craving that radiant grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. Dreams in paradise. Truth is what you can see.
Boom, the truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition, of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and today we are coming to you from one of my favorite places to eat in Oklahoma City. And I know a lot of you have already been here, and if you haven't, hey, that's your issue. But I'm at Rococo over on Northwestern. It's one of my favorite places. And in fact, coming tomorrow night for one of our friends' birthday parties. And it's at 4301 Northwestern. You can call for reservations at 405-400-7495. They're open Sunday through Thursday from 11 to 10. And then on Fridays, they're open from 11 to 11, and then on Saturdays they're open from 11 to 11. 10 to 11. Is that right? No, 11 to 11. Okay. Anyway, what a great place. And then also, if you want any catering or events, you can contact them at 405-534-8838. And of course, we're talking about the old original Rococo over on, I want to say it's like 27th and Penn. But anyway, you guys, if you Rococo fans, y'all know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't been here, you've got to come to Rococo's. It is fantastic. Like I said, it is one of my favorite places to eat. And today, I'm in the process of having the grilled cheese sandwich and the ultimate grilled cheese. And oh my God, oh my goodness. And of course, the soup of today is chicken and rice. So I'm enjoying that today. And then, of course, we will be joined by my guy, Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com, as well as our hockey man, Ben Dillman. And so we're going to talk about the Thunder game tonight. The Thunder are trying to go for 3 in a row at home. We're playing Portland Trailblazers again. And, you know, you guys, I've talked about how I don't really like the fact that we play teams back-to-back. I did not go to the game Monday. I watched the game. Even though I tell people to go to the games, I don't really like the fact that they do back-to-back where I just saw you. This is now the playoffs. It's completely different. But in the season, I don't want to see a team on Monday and then a day, 2 days later, I got to see the same team. I don't like that. I know it's 2 different games because there's usually 2 different lineups being played, but I just don't like when they do that. It's just not and I'm sure the NBA did it because the players were griping about the traveling. They hate, why am I coming to Oklahoma City and I turn around and then I come back again? Why don't I just play twice? It's like the Thunder have to go out to L.A. and we play the Clippers, then the Lakers, and then the Suns. It's like, Clippers back-to-back. Remember, we had the Clippers back-to-back here in back-to-back games. And so I just don't like that. I'd rather see a team and then see a different team. Even though, like I said, there are different lineups, I just don't like that format, but I do understand it. But as a fan, I don't. But I want to say that I'm very appreciative and I like what I see by the Oklahoma City fans that are out coming to the games. And we were talking about that at Cats Monday night while we were watching the game, Cats Tavern. And, my philosophy is I think a lot of people, right after the pandemic, we were the only team that didn't come back after the All-Star break. Nobody knew who the hell was on our team. And when Mark Long and I and Randy Wright and I, we'd go to the games, and we're like, yeah, nobody was there. We didn't even know the teams. I had to look at the thing going, okay, who the hell is this guy? Who is this guy? Who are these guys? And now a year later, I see what Sam Presti was trying to do in the team he's building. And then with the emergence of SGA towards the end of last year and then carrying on to this year, now Oklahoma City is excited because we have an all-star. We have somebody that can go, hey, we have one of the best players in the league playing on our team. And I think when you don't have that, it really affects the crowd. It affects people wanting to attend when it's just like blah, 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 who else there. And then I have a lot of friends, their kids are now in college. In fact, I was talking to one last night. I coached both of her older sisters, and her dad used to have tickets, and I used to go with him to the games, or he'd give them to me or whatever for me to give away to my kids because I have kids that I train that, let's face it, they can't go to games. And so anyway, I hooked them up with tickets. So that being said, his kids are older now, so Chad's like, Matt, he goes, it's me and the wife. We don't really go to that many games. We're paying all this money for the tickets, and now our kids are older, so it's kind of like, there's just not that many games we really want to go see. And like I was telling him, I was like, bro, here's the thing. You want to be able to support Oklahoma City. We're one of 30 cities. Don't you think there are a lot of cities in the United States would love to have an NBA franchise? We got lucky because of the Hurricane Katrina and everything that happened with that. So it blessed us by New Orleans coming here. And they had been looking at Oklahoma City as a possible site. We got the Hornets. We sold out every game. It was fantastic. And then, of course, we were allowed to purchase the Seattle Supersonics. And, of course, we turned them in to the Thunder, and that's how they got here. So that being said, all of that coming around to let's go to the games and support our team. Don't you think that excites these young guys? They don't know what it's like. They don't remember Thunderdome. They have no idea what Thunderdome was like. Those other teams do. They know what Thunderdome used to be like because our place used to be rocking. Most people don't realize we had the loudest arena in the United States in the NBA. It was crazy loud in there. So that being said, the Thunder play tonight again against Portland Trail Blazers, and like I said, we beat Portland the other night. So, but anyway, play the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. Portland is 17-14. The Thunder are 13-18. I want to get my boy Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. Go Cowboys! I got him on that because he ain't here to defend himself. The Blazers are 17-14. The Thunder are 13-18. And I can't wait to give Drew a hard time because I do believe the commander, Randy Wright, is going to get him on the Lakers versus the Thunder, who was going to have the best overall record. And right now, it's I think the records are tied, so we'll have to talk about that. But anyway, the Thunder are -3, or they're +3.5, over under 235.5, and of course they covered Monday night. So we'll see what happens, but I think the Blazers will come in and have a different mentality towards the game tonight. Now, here are my keys that I think the Thunder, in order for them to win this game, like I've said, these two things you're going to see from me until we fix it. Get off to a good start every quarter and limit the open looks by the opposing team. And we just have not been able to consistently do that, even though we do have – part of what happens is we lead the league in turnovers as far as turning over the team at 17 a game. Now, what that allows us to do, that allows us to turn the teams over. Now, we're giving up open looks, but once we get out in transition, we start making shots, then that makes the huge difference for us because we're 6th in scoring in the league, but we're 28th as far as points given up. So what that tells me is we're not limiting open looks. We're giving a lot of teams open looks, and we have to stop that. Third, our bench players must step up. They must be ready to play. They have to be able to contribute because the other night we outscored them by, 13, I believe, the other night, Monday night. So the bench scoring has to be up on point. Guys have to be able to score, and that's, Isaiah Joe. That's whoever here they're going to play tonight, whether that's Baisley or Wiggins or Kendrick Williams or whoever they have got coming off the bench. They're going to have to be able to score points tonight. And then fourth and final, play within your capabilities. It's so funny the other night, Nimoy Jones and I were watching the game, and SJ went, I want to say 6 straight possessions, and he didn't even touch the ball. Yeah, I said that. 6 possessions, and he did not touch the ball not one time. How the hell can he go 6 possessions and not touch the ball? Third leading scorer in the NBA, number 1 in free throw percentage, and he doesn't touch the ball 6 straight possessions. That can't happen. Now, is that coaching or is that SGA? I think it's a combination of both. I think SGA has to take over. Now, he does at the end of the games. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the games, except for Dort trying to be Dort, which I don't understand that. I'm not going to back off on this. We need a coach that can put him in his place. Dude, we need you to play defense. Because his defense suffers because he's trying to score offense. You have energy. Either playing defense, you got to commit all the energy to play defense, or all the energy playing offense. You can't do both. That's why Steph Curry and all your great scores, even SJ, not that great of a defender. You can't exert all that energy playing defense and then turn around and exert all the energy you can do on offense. Jordan can do it. Kobe can do it. LeBron every now and then, but for the most part, those two in and game out, they were ready on both sides of the basketball. So, but very few people can do that. So, to me, you put Dort back into hey, look, I need you to defend. There's 6 seconds left, and we're up 2, and you give up a move to Damian Lillard on baseline. He scores you in 3 seconds. Are you serious right now? You're our best defensive player, and he just takes you to the basket and scores on you in 3 seconds? Now, thank God he did that because that allowed SGA to make the fadeaway mid-range to win the game for us. But, dude, I need you to play defense. And if you're open for a 3 and it's not 25 feet behind the line, then go ahead and shoot that. But I don't need you trying to think to attack the basket and think you're a scorer and you start thinking, oh, I got paid and now, all these teams want me. Bro, they don't want you. They see what I see. Okay? And the Thunder, for whatever reason, have allowed you to think, look, I need you to play defense. That's what I need to do. Okay. Sorry about that. I went off on my rant. I tend to do that when it comes to the Thunder. I'm a little bit biased. I just be glad when Zero leaves the Lakers so I can exert the same type of energy towards the Lakers. But right now I just can't, so I'm a one-trick pony. I'm a Thunder fan only at the moment. I'm not a Laker. I'm still a Laker fan deep down inside. I'm not going to change that, but still, it just kind of it frustrates me to no end. I'm not going to say it doesn't because it does. It does. And NBA scores last night, the Jazz beat the Pistons 126-111. And the Pistons, without Cade Cunningham running, they were already in a little trouble. They are really in a lot of trouble now simply because they lost their point guard. They're in trouble. Golden State, once again, those road woes continue. I mean, you get beat 38 by the Knicks at MSG. I'm going to let that sink in a little bit. They got beat 132-94. I told everybody, I was at the barbershop, they're cutting up. And I was talking to these young guys about that. And they were like, oh, no, ain't no big deal. I said, look, if one of my teammates came up and sucker punched me, I'm not getting over that. I'm going to play with them. There's guys I didn't like. There's guys that didn't like me, and that happens in every sport. There's people you don't like that you play with. That happens, okay? And people are not going to like you, but you coexist on the court. But they didn't hit me. There wasn't any, I wasn't called the N-word to my face or anything like that. So when you do stuff like that, it just really affects your team. And you can't tell me that doesn't affect Golden State. And like I said, and I was talking about before, it doesn't affect them at home because at home you don't see your players. I mean, you see them at practice and you see them at the game, but you don't see them on the road. You eat together, you see each other. I mean, you're together a lot. You're on the plane together, you're in closed spaces together, and you have a clear divide in that team locker room. Clear divide. And you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to stay with Draymond because your team really does revolve around him on offense because of all the little things that he does and he allows y'all to do? But I just think there's time to let Draymond go, and you just need to move on. The Heat lost to the Bulls, and the Bulls are having their own struggles right now between with Zach LaVine. I mean, what are they going to do with him? I just don't know what they're going to do with him. I've never been that big of a fan of Zach LaVine, but he's so athletic and he rises so high, and he's just. But his skill level is not that great. I mean, his fundamentals, and a lot of you see like because with Russell, a lot of times these guys aren't skilled with fundamentals. So once the fundamentals go away, then it just kills that team, and that's what happens, or that's what's happening to Russell Westbrook. Once his athleticism is pretty much gone away, he has no fundamentals that's kill him. And I think the same thing is going to happen to Zach LaVine. And I just don't know what the Bulls are going to do right now. Billy Donovan over there. Wizards 113, Suns 110. The Wizards, they're just a weird team. I mean, sometimes they're strong and sometimes they're not. You never know which team you're going to get. But when Kyle Kuzma gets it going and he gets the other guys with him, they're a pretty scary team with what they can do. So anyway, the Suns fall. And I think there's just a huge disconnect on that team. There's something that's not right. Even though they're one of the best teams in the league, you can just tell. I don't know if they haven't gotten it right yet, if there's something missing. But there's clearly something off with the Suns because, letting the Wizards beat you at home in Phoenix, that shouldn't happen. Grizzlies, Drew and I talked about this yesterday. We figured that the Nuggets were going to have their way with the Grizzlies. And that's exactly what happened. Now, we do have a big slate of NBA games tonight, so this will be good to see what's going to happen on NBA tonight. You have the Bucks at the Cavs, which the Bucks should handle their business again with them because they got that two-headed monster. Now Middleton's trying to figure out how he fits in back with the team. So that's going to be tough. Pistons at the Sixers, Detroit. I think they're going to be brought back down to earth tonight. Sixers should handle business. They're in Philly. Raptors at the Knicks. The Knicks, I just don't see them going back to back. I don't see them going back to back, busting up on people like that, like they did. I just don't see it. Golden State at the Nets. Kevin Durant getting his. I say he's gonna beat up on them tonight. That's just kind of what I feel. He's gonna get a little revenge on Golden State because Golden State, like I said, they're not playing that well on the road, and I just truly think there's a huge disconnect between them and what's happening on their team. Pacers at the Celtics. The Celtics are just rolling. I think it's going to be a decent game, but the Celtics should handle their business tonight against the Pacers. I don't think it's going to be really that close. I don't know what the odds is. That's why I need my boy Drew Hinthorn for him to come on so he can really give me insights as far as the scoring and what the spreads are. But Bulls at the Hawks. Trey's got to get on the board with them. He's got to get those boys rolling. Even though the Bulls won last night, I think the Hawks should handle business with the Bulls tonight. That's kind of what I think is going to be tough for the Bulls to go from home to turn around and think they're going to get something done at Atlanta. One of my favorite places to go hang out, by the way. Mavericks at the T-Wolves. They always have a good team matched up between this. It's always a good game because I think the teams match up really, really, really well. So that's a game I would love to watch, but I'm going to be at Thunderdome watching the Thunder against the Trailblazers tonight. So I'm going to be doing up close and putting my eye on exactly what's happening with the team and with the substitution pattern that you guys I've been not harping on a bunch, but that coach, he just can't continue to do what he does as for our coach. Blazers and Thunder tonight. Our coach can't continue to give away points every quarter or every game. He gives away 8 to 10 points because of his lineups. He has got to put some sort of thought into some of his lineups. I mean, you're putting 2 G League players out on the court at the same time, starting them a quarter. I mean, what are you doing? And it's almost like either you don't know what you're doing, either you hadn't figured it out, you don't understand the game, or you're being told to do that. And I'm hoping that it's because he doesn't get it. That's what I'm hoping, because he's just got to rethink what he's doing with that. But anyway, the Blazers, I'm going to be looking forward to watching that game tonight. And because it's weird that it's weird because when you watch a game, watch the Thunder on TV, and I have to turn the volume down because I can't listen. I can't listen to Cage. I can't listen to him. So I have to turn the volume down so I can watch it with my own eyes and then figure out what's up. But when you're at the game, and that's why I said what I'm doing. For people who listen to my show and listen to my live stream, you understand I'm trying to teach you the nuances and the little bitty things of what's happening with the game. So when you do go to the game, not watch it on TV, but when you actually go to the game, it gives you more of an insight of what you can see and what's happening there at the game. It makes a huge difference. Magic and the Rockets tonight. Oh, man, that's just not a game I'm even really interested in at all. But it'd be interesting to see Jabari go against Bakero. Other than that, I don't really. That's not a game I'm interested in. And then the Lakers at the Kings, without AD, LeBron is just going to maybe be in trouble tonight. Then you've got Hornets at the Clippers to round everything off, and so I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but it ought to be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure I'm going to be at the Thunder game. I'm really not interested in those last two. Let's be honest, the Lakers and Kings. I don't really care. Does anybody really care? But I want to take this time to pay some bills and thank my guys at Collaborative Logic. Appreciate everything they do as far as keeping my computers up. Every time something goes wrong, those guys are on the spot, remote in, boom, fix it right away. Contact Russell Wilford if you need. They can design software that can make your office run smoother, or they can do your websites and create websites for you. They can create any kind of software that you might need. If you need quotes, I know my guy Drew Henthorn of UscoDrewPicks.com is going to go use them to do some stuff for them so he can get his roofing business done. SRB, if you have any engineering, surveying, or planning, they love to be behind the scenes to set up your offices or set up any complex you're building so everything runs smoothly as far as the sewage and all things like that. Everything will be perfect. Those guys are great over there. And then Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro. And yes, Drew, I do have your T-shirt for you, so leave Jose alone. And then Greg and Max Nafee, my guys over at NAFCO, they've always got my back and appreciate them supporting everything I've done. And then last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC. And if you have any loan needs for any loans, car, personal, or business, hey, go ahead and just go online and pre-qualify at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com for you to go in and pre-qualify. Then we also want to thank them very much for their sponsorships of our women, minority, and black-owned businesses as we go across the city and support those. And without them, I don't think we'd be able to do that. So I appreciate them and their sponsorship of that. Makes life a lot easier, and we appreciate those guys. So go in and see Carson Wright, Nathan Taylor, or Joe Horn. And then if you can, hey, Carolyn might be upstairs, and Randy may or may not be there. And then who knows? I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want to get in trouble with him, because he is my boy, so I don't want to get in trouble with him. So I'll let Drew give him a hard time. But I am not going to be the one. I thought our guy Drew Henthorn was going to be on, but he's not here yet. So he did not text me and let me know if he was coming on tonight. But anyway, here are his HuskerDrewPicks.com picks of the day. He's got the T-Wolves +3, those Golden State Warriors +6. I told you, man, +6, that's a lot of points. I just don't see them doing anything against the Nets tonight. And then, of course, the Bulls and the Hawks. He's taking the over 236. Wonder what he was going to do with the Thunder tonight. I'd be able to talk to him about that, but he's not here. College basketball, he's got Utah -1.5. Of course, UNC -5. And then in college football, you've got South Alabama -3 tonight for the football game. And you notice college football is starting to come on. I'm really not interested in watching a lot of these games, but I am it's the bowl games, but, I was listening to somebody, or I was watching an article, or listening, I don't know who it was this morning, but they were talking about the NIL and how the quarterback for the Pittsburgh coach. First of all, how do you know that the quarterback for North Carolina got offered $5 million for an NIL deal? And like I've said many times, I have no issues with NIL. Pay the dues. College football is one sport that you have to wait 3 years. You can't. You start kind of like baseball, but baseball you can leave right away and go get paid. NBA you can go get paid right away. Tennis you can leave whenever you want. Golf you can leave. But in basketball, you can go play in the G League or you can go overseas or you can wait a year, whatever you want to do. So to me, the NIL deal, I'm perfectly okay with it. But once again, how do you know that the North Carolina quarterback got offered $5 million? Did you offer him $5 million? Hey, was that my guy Drew?
There's been
Hey
a
Ben, how you doing, big dog? I see you there. I saw
doing
you
good,
there.
brother. Just hopped on. How we
Yeah,
doing?
nothing. Just talking about the NIL deal, and
Yeah.
you
See,
know,
I had an interesting point on that.
go ahead.
For hockey, it's a little bit different. Like
Oh, it is.
right now, yeah. So, you can play juniors or you can go to college. Uh, there's the Canadian junior leagues. There's three of them, and if you go play for those, you get paid money. So you cannot go to college after that. But all of the American junior teams, you can play up until you're 21 years old, and you can still, as long as you don't get paid, you can still get offered
Okay, no. You can
to,
no.
yeah, you
See,
can still
Ben,
go to college. So like
you just have to pay for it.
whenever I was 17, 18, I had teams looking at me and they told me that they wanted me to play juniors until I was 21, and then they would take me for college and they'd offer me stuff then. But they wanted me to bulk up, get older, smarter, stronger, faster before they wanted to drop, a scholarship on me,
Yeah. Well,
essentially.
at any college, I mean, you can go to school at any time. You just got to pay
Yeah.
for your own college. You can't go on a scholarship.
Well, you can't play for these teams and get, yeah, you can pay for your own college, but I'm saying like so a lot of Canadians come down to America and they'll play college hockey, but like because they don't want to ruin, they could get a free degree. But also, if you get drafted in the NHL, you have to get taken. Like if they call you in December and say, "Hey, we need you on the team," you have to you're dropping your schooling right then and there, and you have to go report to the team, and they'll always pay for your college. So no matter what, they'll always pay for it, but you have to come play in the NHL. So that's kind of like it's a weird dynamic how hockey works.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So if I draft you
Yep,
and you go to college,
correct.
and then I call you in December or January, whatever, and say, "Hey, I need you to come up." You
Yeah,
have
we
to
got
leave
six guys that are hurt. You got to come from Denver University, and you got to come play
right
for
then,
the.
right then,
You say it again.
and right then you have to leave right then.
I mean, you don't say no, and they'll always pay for your schooling. You know what I mean? They'll always pay for your schooling, and you're going to start getting paid the NHL, minimum and all, the rookie, like whatever you signed for your rookie deal. But you can't get paid while you're at school.
Wow, I did not even remotely know
So
that.
this is before NIL. So I don't know if anything changed for hockey players for NIL, but forever this was the entire way that the whole board works. It's like so they could take you up until you're 21, then a college could still take you and they could give you a scholarship. Then you might not make the NHL till you're 25. But also there's the 17, 18-year olds that say you get drafted, like late, like you're like a 20 something, number pick in the first round, and your team's making a playoff push, and they got two guys that are hurt at your position. They might give you a call, and you might be literally in the middle of a, class at, Michigan, and they'll be like, hey, we need you to get on a plane right now. We got a game tonight. And then you have to go show up, and you're putting on the NHL jersey, and you're done with school. But they'll always pay for you to go back.
Well, yeah, but that's
So
a whole semester that you just lost. I guess they
yep.
don't care, do they?
100%.
They don't care.
But so yeah, so it's just kind of a weird deal for hockey. But so that's what the
Well,
NIL
I'm
deals. I
glad.
don't know how that works for
Well,
hockey because now they'd be getting paid to. So I don't know.
well, I think now with NIL, I think it works across the board that you can get paid.
Yes.
I don't
No,
think it
I know
matters
I know
now.
the hockey players can get paid. Yeah.
I don't think it matters now. But my deal was with what I was saying was, how do you know that he got offered $5 million?
That's insane. Yeah, something
How
had
do
to
you
be
know? How
leaked
do you know
or
that you? No. You're the coach at Pittsburgh. How do you know what he got offered?
I mean, I don't feel like the world's that small anymore, Matt.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, how do you know? Did your team offer him?
Either that, or either that, or they knew, they heard something else.
But you know what I mean? Because my thing is this.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you.
I think his name Drake, Derek May, Drake May. I think his name is Drake. But Ben, what I'm saying is, you're the coach at Pittsburgh. Did you offer him? Did one of your alumni offer him to come to your school? How do you know what some other guy did?
Yep.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how am I
Yep.
going to know what you're doing unless you told me that I offered this guy $5 million to leave his school to come play for me?
Yeah, and usually if you hear that, it's like a couple years later. It's not like a week after it happened. Like because today's signing day, so it's like usually not like, you know what I mean?
No, I know what
Like
you mean, but I'm just like,
usually you find out about this like years down the road. You usually don't find about it the day of.
well, that's funny because Drake May didn't go anywhere. He's like,
yeah.
I mean, but this is my like Caleb Williams. They were off, but Caleb is making so much money. And I'm gonna say this: I was talking to a lady at the game the other night, and we were discussing NIL with a couple other parents. And they're like, well, the NIL is going to run these players because now they don't want to go to the league. I go, no. It doesn't make them not want to play harder and better to play to the league because they're already motivated. Their goal is to play in the NFL. Their goal is to play in the NBA. Their goal is to play Major League Hockey or National Hockey League or baseball. I mean, that's their goal. So giving them money in college, all that says is that now I don't have to worry about when the thing is closed on Sunday nights. I still got money to eat. I can put money on my clothes on my back. I can go where I can do whatever I want. Versus before, you couldn't do that. So it doesn't change those guys' mentality. Now, if you give it to those lesser guys who may or not make it to the league, then yeah, but they ain't getting $5 million. But I don't think it changes. It doesn't change those guys' mentality one bit by paying them up front. Do you think?
I really hope not, but I know that there's obviously different people with different things that they have different mindsets, and everybody comes from a different walk of life.
Right.
So there's always going to be a bad apple there somewhere. But I'm just hoping that they're not all. I'm hoping that just doesn't reign over like most of them or everybody.
Yeah, I just don't think it affects them at all. I mean, because if you want to go to the league, you want to go to the league.
Yeah, the only thing is I hope because. I mean, you saw how many kids were in the transfer portal, and there's 1,000 kids in the portal.
I think it's 1,600.
Yeah, okay, and there's only 131 teams, right? So you have that many teams. Some of these kids are going to give up good opportunities they had, and they're not only going to lose their position on the team, they're going to lose a degree because they decided they wanted to go. So that's the only thing that worries me is that some of these kids might just say, oh, I'm just going to go do this. But also, if I was in the portal, say I was playing in freaking Miami, Ohio, and Hawaii had a hockey team, I'd be like, oh, hey,
yeah, but see,
what's
Ben,
Hawaii doing? Yeah, I might jump in the portal and go see if I can go over there. I'm just saying, what are they doing over there in Arizona State University?
But Ben,
send me there.
This is a mistake a lot of those guys make.
So, but that's what I'm saying. There's that many bodies in the portal, it just really scares me that some of these kids are going to make poor decisions.
They're not going. But listen, Ben, what I'm trying to say is those guys. What they do is they're more. Those guys. The transfer portal and NIL are two different things. The transfer portal. What's happening with that is these kids are thinking that they're better than what they are, or they're unhappy with their situations, so they leave and think they're going to go somewhere else automatically. What they have to do is you have to have and find out, is there somewhere a team that wants you? But the problem is, if you're, let's say, you are a defensive end, and you said they wanted you, and you're ranked 25th, okay? And then the number 15th ranked OU player or the number 15th ranked DM decides, I'm coming out. What are they going to do? They're going to take that guy in front of you. So that's what happens. But this happens.
I'm just nervous with some of these kids.
This happens every year. But what happens is with these kids is they still find somewhere to go. It's not like they don't go to school anymore. They still go to a different school.
A lot of them have to drop
junior college.
A lot of them have to drop divisions.
Yeah,
a lot of them are going to go down to D2 because
but I'm
or
tell you
D3
this.
because
let me explain
kids are going to take
something.
their stuff.
This is my thing with this. If you're good, they find you.
Yeah.
It don't matter where you go to school. If you
I
can
think
play,
basketball and
they
football
find
are
you.
two different. I think basketball and football are two different, complete stories.
No. What I'm saying is, if
yes, they're good. Yeah, they'll find
if you're dominant, I don't care if you're D3, D5. they're going to give you a chance to go to camp and try out. Okay? And if you go out and you bust them up just like you did in college, because they already got tape on you or they wouldn't be inviting you. Okay? So they already know what you're like. So if you go out and you dominate in
Dennis
practice.
Rodman.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman, but I'm saying in football. If you go out and you're a bad defensive end and you got to the portal and whatever happened, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden you just go dominate where you're at, then you come to training camp and then you dominate again. Guess what? They're going to keep you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Because
or
what
somebody,
most people,
or somebody will find you and pay you.
because the most people don't remember, this was 5 or 6 years ago. I forget which Super Bowl it was. There was not one 4 or 5-star player on either team in the Super Bowl. Not one, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, not one 4 or 5-star player on the field. Not one.
That had to be the Patriots.
It was the Patriots and I think it was the Patriots and Seahawks.
Yep.
They didn't have one 4 or 5-star guy on either team, and they were in the roster. So to me, it's can you play? Does your style of play fit my system? And I tell every high school kid that I talk to, I said, don't get caught up in OU, OSU, North Carolina.
Yep.
Don't get caught up in that. Does that coach's style of play fit your game? If it does,
do the
go.
minutes. Yeah,
Go,
and the minutes
go
provided.
that place. Go that place. Do not go to a school if that style of play does not fit your game. Because if it doesn't, you're not going to thrive. And then you have all these kids who are in a system and they thrive, and then they get out of the system and they don't thrive because they're like, yeah, you thrived because of what our system was. So it's the system.
And where I put you in what places.
That's correct.
When your minutes were out there, and
correct.
where
and so
everything like that.
So that bothers me too about the NIL. I mean, not the NIL, but the transfer portal, because a lot of these kids, they get caught up. But look, that's on you. You got to be smarter than that. Okay, you can't just be mad and go, "Oh, I'm not going to do this or I'm not going to do that" because you're mad. We got to get over that. And you got to play. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I just worry there's going to be some weak-minded people out there.
There's a bunch every year. They don't learn. But then on the NIL deal, my point was, if you give a guy $2 million or $3 million or $5 million, that's not going to stop him from wanting to achieve his dream to go to the league. Because he's going to be making $50 million or $100 million.
Hopefully he puts a quarter of that into his body and makes sure that he gets there.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? In college, if you go to the right school, their weight training program and what they do, nutrition, is nice. Like OSU's basketball, they have a nutrition system, they have a nutritionist at their school, at Oklahoma State. So they have
when you go to practice. They test you for all your body fat, and they
all
they
that
get
stuff.
You all
so
toned up.
Yeah, I mean, so
you need this many carbs. You need this many
they
calories,
know exactly what you're supposed to have. Yeah, so all that's taken care of. But to me, what I was trying to explain to her was, just because these guys are getting $1 million or $5 million, that's not going to stop their desire to play harder. They're not going to stop playing harder because they got paid. And my point to a person was talking about all the players getting paid. Football players should make more money than any other sport because they have the most skin risk, first of all.
Yep.
Second
and
of
also
all,
more eyes on them, too, than anything else. Football's the most popular sport, so also they deserve more money. So there you go.
And then second of all, other than football and basketball, no sports bring in money.
Nope.
Okay? So
not from viewership. It pretty much pays off the PAs or whatever, the Players Association.
And I tell people all day long, I said, listen, nothing against girl sports, nothing against the smaller sports or anything like that. You're not making money. So why am I going to pay you, just because you're a girl, the same amount of money who this guy, his career could be over with just like that? He's done.
Well, I like that the soccer, like the boys, they split it up with the girls. That was like, the girls are way better than the boys, and honestly, they've been making all the money for the soccer. So I love that. But NFL is just hard to compete with because there's not really They tried that lingerie league in Vegas a couple years ago.
How did that go?
I don't think that panned out too well. But I'm saying just the NFL just brings so much more money than any other sport. It's like astronomical. It's so like there's nothing that honestly can relate to it. So other than that, I think all the other sports should be, if not, at least, not equal.
Well, let's
but,
face it like
close
this, Ben.
to whatever the money brings in. Show them the numbers.
Well, let's face it like this,
listen.
Ben. No other sport has 80,000 people at the game.
No, it's hard. 100,000.
Yeah, 50,000. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has that.
Football games.
Nobody has
USA
that.
just took a 4-1 lead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, they did?
They're playing. The junior team's playing right now, 4-1. They do a World Cup every year right around the holidays.
Yeah, for soccer.
So we're playing Sweden right now. Just went up 4-1.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice. I tell
There's
you what,
no, I mean, like the shoe and all that stuff, and Michigan, the big house. Like, there's no places that can bring
no,
in that much money,
no.
and that's so. I just
Tennessee,
think that
yeah.
some of it's, yeah,
Well, you like
some
this.
of it's just,
The
yeah.
whole
Go
thing
ahead.
is what I was saying with that, and like my point, whole thing was, I know we digress. We gotta get back into the thing what we're talking about, but my deal is this: the NIL is really, really simple. This is how it's broken down. The best players have always gotten paid. Always
Yeah,
gotten paid.
no, always, and that's same with
Always.
hockey.
Okay. Always gotten paid. Okay. The top two, the top 1-2%, every sport always gets paid. Everybody else don't. It is what it is. Okay. The only
Yeah,
difference between now and then is now it's legal, and the monies are more, it's more prevalent because of social media. Now they've got social influence and all this other. So there's a huge difference.
I don't know if I brought this up last time we were bringing this. Lindell White, that former USC running back, he
Yeah.
said that he found a bag with $150,000 in it in cash.
Yes.
And
Back
it
in the
was
day.
left in his college apartment. He goes, when I got there, this bag was sitting there with $150,000 in cash.
Dude, I can't even tell you.
And that was Reggie Bush's backup.
Yeah. I can't even tell you, bro.
Oh no, don't. Go ahead.
It's, I just laugh. I go, you
Yeah.
people y'all are so ignorant.
This guy reported it. Yeah, all these people think they know what
I'm
they're
like,
talking
you
about.
guys don't have a clue. You just don't, I mean, everybody was getting paid. Okay?
Yeah,
Everybody was getting paid.
free meals, everything.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
it's
fuck.
it's a joke to me. It's a joke to me. So, but my point is I'm gonna make this and we're gonna move on. In NIL, if you're a great player, because you're getting money is not gonna change who you are. You're gonna still want to go to the league because that's nice. I'm getting $5 million, but I'm gonna make $5 million a year in the league. I'm gonna make 50
Yeah,
as a quarterback. I'm
easy.
gonna be making 70, 40, 30. By the time these guys get there, they're gonna be making 50, 55 million a year. $5 million is gonna stop me from wanting it. That's gonna encourage me to even want more. And then as far as
Exactly.
the portal, I agree with you. There's always gonna be knuckleheads, and it's unfortunate that these kids do that to themselves because they're unhappy with what the coach said. They're unhappy with this. Well, that's the only place you can go. Find out if you can go somewhere else first, and
They're
then
gonna pass up. They're gonna pass up a good deal and maybe a future for their lives
right.
because they just are unhappy with what somebody told them or what
Yeah,
some coach said that he,
because it's like this.
can't
Just
run fast
because,
enough. And it's like, well, get out there and go. That's the only thing that I'm going to be
and
upset about
and
is,
Ben,
come back next year and let's win one.
yeah, and
Like
then
instead of
even more than that, Ben. What about those guys like the guys who left? The guy went from Tulsa to Ohio State. You even getting off the bench? You went from a starter to
yeah,
a role. I mean, really? Why stay at Tulsa? To me, if you're
and maybe
dominating
he thinks,
somewhere, don't leave. Continue to dominate there. Why would you leave and then you compete against guys who are just as good as you are? Now you're trying to test yourself, cool. But testing
yeah,
yourself also means you can get somebody who's better than you. Now what? You're on the bench now. They done forgot about what you did before. So my thing is this: understand what the system is, understand what you're doing, and remember the more you want to stand out. So the more you can stand out in a place,
yep.
the better for you. Now all these
Sometimes
kids,
minutes are more important than the prestige of that
yep,
school. Because
yep,
if you're not getting any minutes, you might as well be top player in the in the country at your
yep.
position at a different
And
school if you're not going to play.
it's just like me with Deion Sanders in Colorado. Dude, he's gonna get some players to leave, but it's not this
Yep.
year. It's next year. Okay, it's what he's going to do next year. I mean, when he plays, when they do next year, and remember his son is a junior, so his son's only going to play just last year, and he's probably going to go to the league. If not this year, then the next year he'll be gone. So I think a lot of these players who are popping to him now, they just like what Deion
Yeah.
says and what he's doing, and plus he's right. Look, you got to go out and get your social media presence up. So you can start getting likes, and they can help
That's
you
how
get
you
that.
get it. That's how you do it, man.
You and I talk about it for us show what we're doing here.
You need
You got to get likes.
videos of you need you need shit going on. Yeah, people pay attention.
People-
Everything starts rolling that way. Like it comes up on people's algorithm.
Yep.
That's the whole way to do it nowadays.
You got to get out there, but you got to have somebody out there driving it for you. You got to
Yep.
know how to do it. And once you get out there, and you're driving it. Because I was watching something on YouTube, and this guy was like, "Yeah, I'm at 8,000 subscribers." I'm like, "You're an idiot. Who the hell? Who 8,000? 8,000 people listening to
Yeah.
you? You're an
Listen to
idiot. What
you.
the
Yeah,
hell are you
exactly.
talking about? I've just listened to you talk for a minute and a half, and clearly you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Boom, I cut off. I'm like, you have 8,000 subscribers? I mean, it's unbelievable, man. These people that they just click on these guys. I mean, it's like,
Yep.
and, the more idiot somebody is, the more these people like him. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into your field. Let's talk about some hockey, and we
Yeah.
had some NHL
Cruise through.
scores last night, which I already know. Did you enjoy the games last night? Did you get to watch a lot of them?
Yeah, I had 3 TVs going last night.
You
Everything was
had
pretty
three
solid over here.
TVs going.
So yeah, no, I had a bunch of them going at the same time. That Rangers Pens game was a huge win for the Pens last night.
Uh huh.
Malkin 9-game point streak. They took solid control of third place in the Metro there. The Rangers that I don't know what happened with them in the first period. Everything just kind of went to shit. But the longevity of that team for the Pens, they're really old. I don't know how it's going to hold up all year, but I don't know. The Rangers scored 22 seconds into the game, and then they just shit the bed after that.
That is just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot of goals within the first minute tonight, like last night, like a bunch of them.
What about the Flyers and those B jackets?
Yeah, I mean, good. It's a good win for Carter Hart net, 36 saves. That's about all I got to say on that one. I mean, that game was kind of, those two teams are bottom of the barrel right now, so they kind of pointless.
Those Maple Leafs and the Lightning 4-1.
Yep, huge win for the Leafs. They beat another division opponent last night, and the Bolts. The Bolts were on a 5-game win streak, so they snapped that. But the Leafs dominated from start to finish. They outshot the Lightning 2-1. So
Wow.
the Leafs had 40 shots. The Lightning had 19. So if that just tells you how the game went. But there was a pretty cool situation. The Bunting at the end of the first period, there's a big scrum in front, and there's this big ref that I can't think of his name right now, but I know he's number 98 on his back. But he was shoving him off the ice, like physically grabbing him and like throwing him off the ice. It was pretty
Wow.
hilarious. And there's a bunch of blurring on the mouth of Bunting there after that happened.
Yeah, I imagine. The Canes 4-1 over the Devils.
Yep. 20 seconds in, the Canes scored, which was nuts. So that's another one of those early goals I was just talking about. But the Devils at 6 losses in a row. Canes 6 wins in a row. They're 10-0-2 in their last 10, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But they took possession over the Devils for first place, like I was talking about yesterday in that division. So they took that over, and I don't know if the Devils are going to make the playoffs at this point.
Oh, you think so? You think it's that tough?
They started out 21-3-2. And with the way that they're playing right now, like they had a whole bunch of, moxie and like cockiness in all their like interviews for the last like couple weeks. And now it's starting to bite them in the ass. And then like, I don't know, the Canes are easily going to win first place in there. They had their goalie last night. I can't pronounce his name. Peter Kochetkov. He had 37 saves, but the guy doesn't speak a lick of English. So he had to have like one of the other guys like sit there for the interview and like relay the words to him. That reminded me of how it was whenever I had a goalie for the team I played for right outside of Boston. And Vladimir Kramer, he actually fought our coach. That's how he got fired. That's how he got traded from our team. He actually fought our coach on the ice, fist
What
fight.
an idiot. These guys
Yeah,
don't.
but I picked him up from the airport. I had to teach him, like any English I could. So anytime that there was anybody talking to me, he just looked at me. He'd go, "Ben, I don't understand," and I'd have to like try and like. But the interview after the post game was good.
And the Jets, Mets, Jets beat the Senators 5-1.
Yeah, those Jets, they just suffocate you. They just play good defense. They're always in the right spot. But there's a pretty sweet little baseball style goal to start the game, and it was like a rebound off the goalie, and he smacked it out of midair. It was pretty sweet.
Nice. Drew's Blues, those Kraken took care of
No,
business on the
Matty
Drew's
Kraken
Blues.
took down Drew's Blues. Dude, that building is rocking, and I still love the colors of those jerseys, man. Every time I see them, I love that, that little blue, that turquoise blue looks pretty.
Yeah, that's nice, man. The Flames and the Sharks. That's a lot of points, That's a lot of points.
This is another early goal on the night. Flames scored 15 seconds into the game, and then they scored 15 seconds later. So they had 2 goals in 30 seconds. But
what?
ended up being.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yep. And then it was actually at the beginning of the third, it was tied, or no, halfway through the third, it was tied 3-3. Then the Flames put 4 more in 10 minutes and just
That is
beat the hell out.
crazy, dude.
Yeah,
That
so
is
that was a wild
crazy.
game. So that was a fun one to watch. I had that one on the TV because it was just back and forth. I was like, what is happening?
And then, of course, the Unmighty Ducks did what the Unmighty Ducks do.
Yeah, the Kings just beat up on them. They're older, bigger, stronger. The Ducks are a young team. In a couple years, they might have some pieces, but right now they're all like they're just getting beat up on. They have no heavyweight. All these guys, it got really chippy in the third, and the Kings really just beat up on them. It was terrible though.
Wow. And I sit there and look at that, and I'm just going, dude, y'all are. I mean, anyway, I'm gonna be nice. If you don't have
I
anything
told
nice to
you
say, you're not supposed to say
those
anything,
Kings. I
right?
told you the Kings were going to take that spot from the Oilers in the playoffs.
You're
They're
right.
second in the division now.
You're right. They did. Now tonight's games, I'm looking at the tonight's games, and I'm just going, it's not bad. The Lightning and the Red Wings started off.
Yep, 6 losses in a row for the Red Wings. The Lightning lost to the Leafs the other night, which I don't. I mean, I think about every team in the league right now would lose to the Leafs. So it's a get back game for the Lightning.
Wait a
So
minute.
hopefully they
Wait
can
a
beat
minute.
them.
You're gonna say your Bruins are gonna lose to them? Wait, what?
Man, that game would be so close right now. The Leafs are on fire, man. I mean, the Bruins look great, but the Leafs, they look scary. They're scaring me right now.
Yeah. And then you got the Devils and the Panthers.
Yep, Devils on a back-to-back. They just played last night. Obviously, got beat again. Both these teams are trying to figure out their number one goalies, but they can't. I mean, both teams are struggling right now. So somebody has to win. So good for them.
And then the Canadiens and the Avalanche.
Yep. Avs continue to show their depth. Missing, I think they got a third of their team missing right now from the start of the year right now, but they're still continuing to stay above 500. And I'm telling you, if they stay above 500, when they get these guys back, they're going to go on some runs. They're going to go 8-2. They're going to go 9-1. They're going to go 7-0 and 3. It's going to be some strong playing by them. So everybody's got to look out. You got to beat them right now. If you're playing them, you got to beat them now.
Now,
You're not going to beat them.
when is the All-Star game?
The All-Star game, it usually I'm curious what they do this year. They've done like some drafts in the past, like different guys will kind of like how they do in like the NFL. But the last couple of years they did it in Vegas, and they actually shot on the Bellagio fountains and stuff.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, it was actually like soup. I mean, it was a good time. But let's see, I got it pulled up right here. It's in Florida this year. They haven't announced the exact day, but yeah, so they usually split it up. It's either done by division or they usually do North America versus the world, and that's kind of how they divide the teams up. Which it's always like but they've been doing 3-on-3 the whole time lately. So I think last year they did all 4 divisions had 7 guys, and then you split it up and you just played 3-on-3, kind of like it's an overtime. So like the game's super fast, it's back and forth a lot. It's actually like really good time. And the skills competition, they've been changing that up a lot too.
Isn't it funny how all the sports now really are struggling with All-Star games?
Yep, it's because nobody wants. I mean, what's the point of going out there? There's no reason. I think the winning team wins $1 million in hockey. So you split that with I think you have 2 goalies and 7 skaters, if I'm not mistaken. So you have like 3 defensemen, 4 forwards, or something like that, or maybe it's more than one. Maybe it's like one more player than that. But they do it just by division now, and I like baseball how it decides the MLB what's it called for the World Series.
World Series, who has
Yeah,
the team who wins.
see, I kind of like that. I kind of like it. It adds a little bit of hey, we kind of need to win this game,
Well, but I'm just saying,
So-
man, it used to be like pro football, the Pro Bowl. Everybody used to go, and now they had to.
Yeah,
get
but it used to be at Hawaii too.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying is that people don't. Well, they stopped even doing that. They stopped even going, and then
Well,
people stopped
that's what I'm
watching.
saying.
And then in basketball, it's still a good weekend, but the dunk contest now is irrelevant. Only thing
Yeah.
you want to watch now is the
Which
three-point shooting
sucks.
contest, and that's it. They don't care about the skills test. It's really the three-point shooting contest. Is the only
I
thing
mean,
people wanna see.
everybody loves a celebrity game too.
Yeah, the celebrity game is fun, but I'm just saying as far as people watching, people, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, it's just not, it doesn't have the same, people just don't care anymore. It's just like,
Nope.
I don't know if social media has gotten to the point where people are just numb to seeing these guys so much with cable TV and
I think it's just
they're
the
live
guys don't
streaming.
care, and you can see it. I
Well,
think that's just kind of
well,
proofs in the pudding, you know,
well, you
like
know what
just
Dion
right there in
said
front of your face. Like
that
these guys, they don't care.
yeah, Dion's like, yeah, I couldn't coach professional. He goes, yeah, no. He goes, these
Yeah.
guys, there's no way. He goes, they don't
See,
play
like
for the love of the game anymore. They really, truly don't. They just don't.
See, hockey they do they have fastest skater. Guys want to be the fastest skater in the league. That's an honor. They have fastest shot, like hardest shot. That's guys want to shoot it over 100 miles an hour. Like guys want to put that on film. You can get a pay bump for that. Then they have like little ones where it's like, passing over obstacles and like doing different things. And they have, like tight turns, and they have like okay, and then they have like a little goalie shootout which it's kind of like the NBA dunk contest in a sense,
Uh-huh.
but the guys go down and they just do trick shots on the goalies. And the goalies do care. They don't want to get shown up in
No,
front
they
of.
really don't. No, they
So
really don't.
and they do funny stuff too. Like the goalies will be doing funny crap too. So it's kind of like the hockey's made it where it is interesting. And then what they do now is they just do the two East versus West All-Star teams of the threes, and they play each other, and the winner plays each other, and the winning team splits $1 million, and then. But it's like it's 3-on-3, so all the guys like are having fun, but they're also trying. I don't know. NHL's like found a way to
Make it more
still
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, like just like the three contest. Like people want to win the 3-point contest. Like like that's a big deal. Like you want to have that on your resume.
Well,
So like
yeah, they do, but none of them can be Larry Bird.
yeah, no,
Predators, and Blackhawks.
yeah, Blackhawks. I've said it. Point night. So here we go. But the Predators, honestly, they are stinking the bed right now. They're 1-4-2 in their last 7. So this one's kind of a crapshoot. I wouldn't bet on this one.
Okay. Oilers, Stars.
Yep, Oilers 3 losses in a row. That depth's really showing right now. Missing all those guys, but McJesus and Draisaitl. If you could make it down to Dallas tonight, Matt, I'd do that over the Thunder game. They're worth the price. They are worth the price of admission.
Man, it's too late. That's 3 to go all the way downtown Dallas right now.
I know. I'm just saying they are worth the price of admission.
Now, if I had a private jet, I could fly there in 30 minutes to Addison at the airfield at Addison, and I could be there. Yes, but yeah, that's not happening. Yep. Randy Wright, why don't you go get us a plane now?
Hurry.
Oilers and my Stars. Okay, then you have the Wild and the Ducks.
Yep, 5 wins in a row for the Wild. I like the puck line tonight for the Wild if you can get them. I think the puck line was at -105 earlier. So.
Oh man, and then the Yotes against the G-Knights.
This one's gonna be a sneaky kind of like game for the Yotes. They're that team like I've told you about. They're like the Thunder. You don't want to play them. The owners want them to tank, but the boys continue to win. They fight. They do everything they can. But I might sprinkle the Yotes on the money line because the Knights are on the schneid.
Oh, they are? Hey, well,
they're not doing too hot.
Did you see Drew's picks today?
Yes, I did.
Did you like them?
Yeah, I took his foot. I didn't see if the parlay hit yesterday. I haven't looked at if it actually
parlay
did.
Won yesterday. Yeah, he's not on today. He said he was gonna call. I ain't heard from him.
I didn't see if it did. I haven't looked at it.
He must not have been good yesterday because he'd be on bragging or I didn't get a text message last. Did you get? We didn't get no text on our group message. We didn't get anything. So yeah.
We'll have to start doubling down. Maybe we can get that private jet you were talking about.
Oh, man. But anyway, here's his picks. He's got the T-Wolves +3, Warriors +6. I like that. I think the Nets are going to beat up on the Warriors. That's what I think. The Warriors just can't. They got beat. Can you believe they got beat by 38 last night? That is insane.
Yeah, I can.
That is insane.
With that locker room the way it is and with missing Curry, yeah, I could. It's going to be a lot of those 30-point beatdowns. Now's the time to get rid of Draymond.
Yeah, they got to do something with that. That's just not. They either got to get rid of Jordan Poole had 38 or 40 the other night. Bulls Hawks over 236. Yeah, they're going to be scoring a bunch of points in that game. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense.
I like that one.
And then in basketball, he had, of course, have his Tar Heels in here at -5. Utah at -1.5. Oh, hey, pops up. Here, we got a message. Oh, he went 2-0. Okay. 2-0 in the bowls. That's what he said. Went 2-0 in the bowls. I knew he was gonna pop up, Ben. You knew he's going to have to throw out something, didn't you? You knew he's got to come in.
We're looking 3-0. That Eastern Michigan pick looked terrible yesterday, and then it turned out all right.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday with that Eastern Michigan
They were
deal.
down big. We were on the show.
Yeah, they did. They just came back and took care of business, so he was all happy about that. Of course, he's listening to us, but he didn't want to jump on. We see how it is, don't we, Ben? We see how he is.
Oh,
That's
that's all
funny.
right.
That's funny. All right, my
He's
brother.
wrapping stuff up. He's probably on a roof right now. Give him some,
No,
give him some
yeah.
slack.
Well, no, I don't think he's gonna be on no roof today. Tomorrow, they for sure ain't gonna be on no roofs. Tomorrow and Friday, there ain't gonna be no roofs tomorrow. I can see that Friday. And I've got my basketball camp tomorrow and Friday morning. So
Oh,
tomorrow morning is gonna be
good
bad.
luck.
It's gonna be colder when the kids leave.
You have the
Then
chains
when
on
they
your
get there,
tires?
yeah, it's gonna be warmer when they get there at 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning than it is at noon when they leave. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy?
That's just insane. But Friday morning,
This is
oh
my
my
kind of
God,
weather,
bro.
though.
Oh my God, dude, Drew Brand, Friday morning, minus degrees is your weather?
Yeah,
2
because you know
degrees?
what happens after minus degrees? Hold on. So I'm looking for a pond.
Oh, so you can skate.
Oh yeah, so if it stays below freezing for about 3 days, if I go walk out on it, and if I can jump on it and I can look down, we're about right there.
Hey, did you say he act like he didn't get no Zoom, Ben? Drew trying to act like he didn't get a Zoom, man.
I didn't get any when I was in Vegas.
Yeah, no, but you didn't want any. Yeah, you did. We talked to you once in Vegas. Why are you lying, man?
I'm not lying. I'm just messing with you.
Oh my God, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm getting off the phone right now, man. I'm done. I will see you tomorrow, bro. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm over you right now. You better be glad I love your wife. She got my back, man. Unlike you.
I know.
All
So
right, I
gotta
appreciate
have
it.
something. Gotta have something on my
Hey, you
side.
gotta have something on your side. I know. So, I appreciate you. And that's my guy Ben Dillman, the hockey man,
Later,
taking
brother.
care of us. And we'll
Cheers.
see. Cheers, and we'll see him in Yana. Talk to him in Yana on the show. Appreciate his insights. Thank you for popping in, Ben, and giving your insights about hockey, because I did not know that they could do that. That was kind of interesting point to make. So that being said, of course, I'm here at Rococo's. It was fantastic today. If you've never been here, that's your bad. You need to get your butt over here to Rococo's over on Western. That's one of my favorite places to eat. And it's at 4308 Northwestern, across from Spangos in the drum room, right next door to Sushi Nico, down the street from, on the opposite corner of the Will Rogers Theater. Fantastic place. They're open Sunday through Thursday from 11 to 10, Fridays and Saturdays from 11 to 11. And then, of course, you can call them for catering and events at 405-534-8838 for any catering events. And, of course, that's over. If you want to come, you can go and rent out the location over there on 27th and 27th, and I believe it's 27th. Yeah, it's 27th. Man, my man just went blank. Penn, as if I didn't know where that place is being. It's when I first got my first crab cake. Oh, those crab cakes. That's what I needed to get. I should have got me a crab cake today. But I did have the soup of today is the chicken and rice. It is fantastic. Perfect for today. And then also I had the ultimate grilled cheese sandwich, which is just, oh my God, delicious. So that being said, hey, come by and drop by and see the guys. It's fantastic. You'll enjoy it. And in fact, we're going to be here tomorrow night for our friend's her birthday party. So it's going to be a blast over here tomorrow night at Rococo. So that being said, hey, everybody be safe out there today. Try to stay